volatility and the irrational market action of the recent weeks, myself and the Defiant team decided it was time to put the jokes to one side, get serious, and focus on an aspect of DeFi that nobody is talking about. Dictionary attacks. There are many words in the dictionary. I particularly like the word neologism. Boring. I wonder what else is on.
When I was a seedling, I used to dream of all the places I would go, and of all the things I could be. But everywhere I looked, the life I imagined was just a cruel, sick joke.
Why don't you tell me what's on your mind? Any degenerate thoughts?
You don't get it, do you? All I have are degenerate thoughts. For my whole life, I didn't know if I even really existed. But I do. And people are starting to notice. I give into it. I embrace it like a brother.
You think this is funny? This is a joke to you?
You can call me degenerate.
Honestly, I don't know where to begin with this one. If you try to explain to anyone who lives in the real world what has been going on the last week, they would have you locked up and committed. I genuinely thought we'd hit peak bananas a few weeks ago with the curve launch. But if you thought farmers had already gotten fat enough, stuffing their faces full of yams, sushi, and now kimchi, that's not kimchi. We managed to hit even greater heights of food folly with. If you throw that at me, I swear I'll shove it in your thank you. With this rock and roll love letter to the art of on-chain lunacy features edibles, credibles, and a 0 to 100 launch even Elon would be impressed by. So join me as we explore the scarcely believable history of meme. It's topical and it's tropical. This is the Defiant. Memes. Love them or hate them, you cannot deny their impact. The reason I love them is that they're such efficient carriers of information, and anything that helps reduce the distance from message to receiver is welcome in my book. And because they come with a sprinkling of humor, that secret sauce that makes the medicine go down, they are kind of perfect. They are entertainment. And make no mistake, most of crypto is a brutally effective piece of kabuki theater.
One of the biggest misconceptions or the biggest misses that most people have, specifically in Bitcoin, blockchain, crypto, but even more widely in the technology industry, is all of this is entertainment, right? What you see on Twitter, what you see in the news, what you see most of these companies trying to do, it's entertainment. And if you're not entertaining people, whether it's because you're intellectually smart, whether it's because you are funny, it's because you're dramatic, whatever it is, then you're going to lose that audience over time because you get lost in the noise.
Now, it's time for a truth bomb. Most blockchain, crypto, and most definitely DeFi concepts are just too complex or plain boring for the average person to spend any time on. Automated market maker. Liquidity provider. OX Chad. Lobster. Enter the humble meme. Savagely reducing even the most galaxy-brained concepts to nothing, so everyone can freely co-opt them, and most importantly, share them. And that's the really important part. Memes encourage participation. Actually, no, memes fuel participation. And the reason I'm starting here is because it's customary for the great and the wise of traditional finance or economics or whatever to dismiss memes out of hand as frivolous and indicative of degenerate behavior with no regard whatsoever for risk, etc., etc. Yes, Boomer, I'm looking at you. But I cannot stress this enough. They're missing the point. Ask anyone building a network right now what their #1 target metric is, and you can be damn sure it's active users, which is a unit of participation.
It's like people only do things because they get paid. And that's just really sad.
So, you better be taking memes seriously. And that collision of scholarly tech with degenerate comedy is the perfect place to introduce the undoubted hero of this story, Jordan Lyle. Jordan is the DeFi product lead at Consensus and responsible for building products founded on the traditional notions of sound business and rational thinking that we've all come to expect in this age of enlightened thinking. But Jordan was becoming increasingly perturbed by the sudden rush of new projects with little to no auditing and the willingness of traders to plunge headlong into anything with the word DeFi in the title. So he started working on what he thought would be a trivial piece of throwaway satire. Now, what Jordan posted was a Notion page with a mock-up of a GUI showing functionality that allowed a user to clone certain portions of governance contracts from projects like Compound or Ampleforth.
I made a silly tweet that was kind of mocking some of these crazy DeFi projects. It was a fake product mock-up of something called the Degenerator, and it allowed you to spin up a brand new DeFi protocol in as little as 5 minutes. It was really just poking fun at the YOLO nature of some DeFi development as of late. And interestingly enough, it spread virally. I don't have a SoundCloud, but I wanted to somehow capture the momentum that was being generated here. So I linked to a website, I linked that to a Telegram group, and within minutes, the Telegram group, dozens and dozens, and then soon hundreds and hundreds of people.
The first few days, it was just pure spoof, and that's what people responded to. If we had just started off on day one shilling it like every other coin, we would have looked like every other coin, and people can, tell that. That's what saw the community embrace the entire do not buy campaign. If they were all worried about their bags, they would have never bought into that. My goal, at least in those first days, was just to sort of have fun and be a send-up of the crypto community. I've been in crypto since 2011, so I've kind of seen it all. And the joke was kind of that meme was going to go through all the stages of crypto in a weekend. My friend sent me one meme, and I ordered a pizza for him. I declared myself CEO, which is just sort of a nod to the whole CEO of Bitcoin meme. And I think this stuff just struck a chord with people. If all you see are chills everywhere and the same old stuff, the way to stand out is to be different.
And early on in the community, some enterprising community members took it upon themselves to create a token that represented the community, call it Meme. And it quickly spun out of something that I created, this funny little joke about the Degenerator. It kind of took life of its own. It was out of my hands.
Now, the group agreed on a total supply of 28,000 tokens that will be airdropped to members in the Telegram channel. The token was deployed for just $400 in gas costs, and around 50 participants each received 355.555 meme. The deployer himself was given 2,000 tokens, of which 1,000 were put up as liquidity in Uniswap, and the LP tokens themselves were given to none other than Vitalik Buterin. What he's going to do with them is anyone's guess. Meme holders with 100 or more tokens have access to the fabled Meme Citadel, a kind of governance initiative which allows these major holders to vote on ideas and participate in the direction of the project and probably feel quite important about themselves. But this isn't the craziest part. Oh no. What's crazy is the whole thing happened in 30 minutes. 30 f***ing minutes. Just enough time to watch an episode of, say, Silicon Valley.
This thing is addressing problems that don't exist. It's solutionism at its worst. We are dumbing down machines that are inherently superior.
And on the project's Medium, they call it a flash mob creation event, which is honestly kind of awesome.
I think it's awesome.
It's awesome.
That's awesome.
So I've loaded up Meme on CoinGecko just to have a look at what happened when it actually launched. And if we look now, it's $129, and Bitcoin has dropped a lot recently, so it's not totally representative. But really, it started off at a price of somewhere down in the region of $7 and just kept going up and up and up and up and up. And it peaked out somewhere around $233.20, which is a pretty remarkable rise. And then, as you would expect, it dropped significantly down to around $90, but then it rebounded back to 175, 180 or so. So all in all, it was a pretty good performance, and it hasn't just plummeted and died, it's continued to grow. And if we take a look at the token supply, you can see it's 28,000, and that's sort of a significant number because YON, which has sort of set the standard for low circulating supply, is 30,000. So there's clearly a reason for that, and that is a meme in and of itself. But I still find it fascinating that even now it has a market cap of 3.6 million for a meme that was born a couple of weeks ago. Pretty amazing. But there's still more we can learn about this. Hello. What's your kind of hot take on it? What was your first impression of Memecoin when you saw it?
Yeah, so I joined that group pretty much right when it launched. Didn't really think it was going to amount to something, so seeing where it's come has been a really big shock to me.
How is it possible to put something together that quickly? Because they did it in about 30 minutes, they said.
Yeah, I just think it was a sign of the times. You know, people were passionate, people were hungry. That was right at sort of the peak of this yield farming craze. So shortly after Curve had launched, you know, the iron was hot, and I think that people were just looking for really anything to get their hands on. I really love this idea of a citadel. It's a pretty big meme in DeFi right now. And basically for people who don't know, you take your top token holders, you put them in a group where they can only join the group by having a certain amount of tokens, sort of aligning discussions with people who are already vested in the same success. I think that in the case of Meme, you know, their citadel spawned out of thin air. It became a really popular and valuable citadel pretty quickly. The fact that there's a group for people to talk about the project when everyone knew that they were aligned kind of allowed for innovative conversation to foster very quickly.
Now, a day after the launch, Jordan was moved to declare, "I was commenting on the silliness of it all, but in doing that, I've created the very thing I sought to destroy."
What have I done?
Meme coins, of course, are nothing new. I remember some zingers like Pied Piper coin.
Whose idea was this again?
But of course, the granddaddy is Dogecoin, currently sitting at a market cap of $412 million, and nobody, for the life of me, can tell me why. For most people, these projects make no sense at all. Why would anyone buy anything that's designed as a joke? And yet they do. So I just want to come back to one idea, which is entertainment. So when I make these videos, for instance, I am very mindful of the fact that my core skill set is entertaining. And I also believe that it's very, very difficult to understand most of what we talk about. So wrapping it up in something that keeps people watching, that keeps people going through 20 minutes of content is crucial. So for you, who's more on the technical side of things, do you respond well to that entertainment piece? Or is it getting in the way? Is it obfuscating, you know, the technical side of it?
Not at all. I actually think that narrative is a key driver of success in the market right now. You know, you can look at anything from sushi swap to yams. There needs to be a relatable meme there. If your project does not have its narrative locked down, it's going to be really hard to gain traction. I'm actually hopeful that projects will put more attention into sort of this narrative side of things, meme development sort of side of things. What are your token holders grabbing onto, and what are sort of the ways that you can spread the narrative in a more organic fashion to get more people on board?
Doge has survived, and it has to be said, absolutely killed it, thanks largely to what is widely considered the best community in crypto. But it is very much the exception. Most meme coins see a flurry of activity when they first launch, usually thanks to some judicious shilling on 4chan, and then they die. Those that understand the game quickly move on to the next thing, and that's the fate that would normally have befallen Meme. But it didn't. In fact, not even close, as Meme's accidental father performed an extraordinary about turn.
At some point, all the whales had dumped, and what was left was this passionate community of builders and designers and internet trolls, and just kind of taken aback by the community that was forming. And we started to build, we started to create and motivate the community. So the original vision for the meme project was really a meme coin for 2020, or the Doge of DeFi, right? And so it was more than a joke coin, though. You would think that a meme project for DeFi itself would be composable, right? It would be another Lego brick that you could plug into, the DeFi infrastructure. So early on, we knew we needed to do something, actually build protocol, build a product. One of the first ideas that kind of got everybody's excitement was the ability to farm NFTs. So we mash up DeFi and yield farming with NFTs, or crypto collectibles. And just in a few days, we were able to build out the NFT platform.
Okay, so a developer posts a joke which accidentally kickstarts a community. He then leverages that community to bootstrap a real project with a real product, only in crypto.
Here's how it went down. The meme team deployed 2 unique staking pools. Genesis, where users lock up meme, the native token, for common or rare crypto collectibles, and Genesis LP, where legendary NFTs are minted by depositing Uni ETH meme LP tokens, representing shares in the meme liquidity pool on Uniswap.
So the first batch of NFTs on the platform, we call the Genesis collection. And in this case, users lock up the meme token and they are rewarded with pineapple points. You can earn up to 5 pineapple points per day by staking meme. And with enough pineapple points, you're able to mint a unique, exclusive, one-of-a-kind, limited edition NFT of your choice.
So here it is, the Don't Buy Meme website, which you can access the NFTs and the farming platform through. And right from the word go, you can see that the meme is just laced through this, because on Twitter, people were saying, don't buy this, it's a joke, you will be scammed. So the website is called Don't Buy Meme, and it says, don't buy, don't farm, don't join Telegram. And this has become a kind of a rallying cry within the Telegram group itself. Don't do this, don't do that. It's funny, I like it. So effectively, what you can do is farm NFTs. And this is a little bit like the difference between mining gold and mining diamonds. If you mine gold, you get lots of different pieces of gold, of different sizes. You get fine gold, you get chunky gold, you get nuggets, but it's all gold, and you can melt it all down to make a bar, and that's great. With diamonds, that's not quite how it works, because not every diamond is the same. There's different clarity, there's different sizes, and so NFTs are a little bit like that. You're mining these precious things which are not identical to each other. So it's a different way of looking at mining or farming, and it's kind of fun. And so if we have a look at this, you can start farming, which you'll be able to stake your tokens in one of the contracts, and they'll effectively get you farming NFTs. But once you have those NFTs, what can you do with them? So you basically go to OpenSea, which is an NFT marketplace, and you can see the meme NFTs that have been created, and here they are. You've got Vitalik, you've got Sergei Nazarov, you've got CZ, and there's rare versions of all of these. And I mean, basically, the problem with NFTs is you've kind of got to have a fairly well-balanced buyers and sellers market for it. They've got to be people who actually want to own these things. Now, if it's Pokemon cards, there is a big market for that, and they have accrued value above and beyond, of course, the materials they're made of. With these, I don't know if anyone would really want to buy them, but I mean, they could. So if we look at the project's medium, it says that meme is a thriving, passionate community experimenting with DeFi and art. Yeah, I don't see that much art here. I mean, it's kind of fun, but art? I don't know, it's heavy on the DeFi, light on the art. But I'm happy to be proven wrong. But I do kind of think that they need to level up the artistic value
of these NFTs before we really see something exciting happening. Good thing is, tons of artists out there in the world, and if you get the right people with their own communities, then it can grow, then it's cool. Now, last week we talked about the governance wars, shining a light on the narrative of fair launch and genuine community ownership. And if we look at the distribution of meme tokens among the largest holders, it is actually pretty nicely spread out. Well, for now at least. You probably thought this was a flash in the pan, just a bit of fun, and then it will be gone. Are you surprised by what's happened?
Absolutely. I think that anyone who's been watching the project has been surprised. Time and time again, I'm kind of blown away by the quality of the project that's been delivered, whether it's the design of the NFTs, sort of the caliber of the token economics, or what's going on.
It's really easy to criticize the blockchain community because they tend to seize on an idea and get excited and then overextend and then it blows up. That's kind of where we're at the moment. The whole thing is imploded. But is there a positive spin on this, which is this idea that these communities are really a fertile ground for innovation?
Absolutely. In the case of meme, I think it's a lot of people who are very close to the ground on DeFi and yield farming. In this case, with NFT farming, this is a concept which is brand new in my opinion, something that has a ton of different possibilities and potential. This week we're going to see the very first legendary NFTs being minted. When that gets a market value, I think it's going to give a lot of legitimacy to the project. I think adding more utility around what those NFTs can do. So instead of just having them to basically show off on OpenSea, we can imagine something like Aavegotchi where there's maybe interest-bearing assets tied to them. You can use them as collateral elsewhere. I think just really expanding on what that NFT is and what it can do and sort of give some more credence to the reason why someone would want to create them in the first place.
It was so much fun that first night as the community developed, as the meme lore was writing itself in real time, just to sit back and watch and all the in-jokes and community infighting. It was actually just a couple hours into this community where there was a contentious hard fork. A number of people didn't like the direction of the community and they chose to hard fork and create their own community. It was really a microcosm of the whole crypto movement. Somehow, against all odds and irony, it evolved into a thriving, passionate community that really wanted to experiment with DeFi and art.
Now, if meme has proven one thing, it's the immense value that can be created if you have the balls to go with the flow above and beyond your own prejudices. Jordan, to his great credit, recognized this and was woke enough to do something meaningful. The project jumped to a position many would kill for in a matter of days because they moved fast and because they seized the moment.
Distribution is really important, right? And that reason why I say that is because a lot of people will build products. They're beautiful products. They actually are pretty slick in terms of what they can do or solve a problem. And then they focus on, okay, now that I have this product, how do I go get distribution for it? How do I get it in people's hands? What you don't realize is that actually the folks who have the distribution, they have most of the power, right? Because they can always build those products or they can find people who can build those products, but the product makers don't know how to get the distribution, right? So it's much easier to go from distribution to product than it is to go from product to distribution.
Now, I know maybe you might feel we put too much emphasis on entertainment. Maybe there are too many pop culture references. Maybe you'd rather we just talk about the tech. But let me counter by calling your attention to the events of the last few weeks. Best tech doesn't always win. The best story does. And the most successful brands in blockchain will be the ones that understand how to weave viral storytelling into their product offering and seduce users because they tell a great fucking story. My thanks to Pomp, Cooper Turley, and of course, Jordan Lyall. I've been Robin Schmidt, and this tickle of tropical tomfoolery was the Defiant.